I think it's actually a couple of things. You do need to have talent in place, but most of the times actually the talent doesn't recognize its value. So what you have to do is a retransformation of the socio-economic fabric, and most of the times based or anchored on something that has to do with cultural identity. Not very rarely you actually have a response to a crisis, a socio-economic crisis, and then an external look actually benefits these talents to realize the value they have and that they are able to overcome the problems they're facing. So I think that you do need to have a kind of a problem to ignite the power of this community. They get together and they find solutions to their problems. And the one thing I really like about creative cities has to do with the singularity or the uniqueness of the place. Nothing to do with global cities, which for me is a completely different concept. And a few of the global cities can actually be creative, even though they are not homogeneous. So you have creative classes, you have the others, you have creative jobs, you have the others, which is a problem in the end. But in smaller communities, you actually can have this mix to make sure that the whole community is engaged in the process of transformation, which is good for themselves and for the newcomers who actually go there and enjoy this ambience. I couldn't stress more the fact that most of the times we actually benefit from an external look because we always give ourselves the value we have through the regard and the look of the other. So it's nice to see this dialogue that's established between local and international, between mainstream and off-circuit and so on. But just to give a clue of what I've been observing in the past examples we've been discussing and the studies we've made, I think that actually there's something that has to do with a small team of people that is very persistent, that every time this team listens, oh, you can't do that, it won't work, they say, okay, this is an extra reason to make it work. And they are so passionate that they really can have this ambience of transformation. But they do have to do something to make sure that people wake up to the fact that they have value. And then they start thinking about, okay, when my friends or someone arrive in my city, what's the best thing I'd like to say about my place? And what's the worst one? Because you do need to address both at the same time. Otherwise, just have this fairy tale and the visible city, but not the problems underlying. And I think these two questions, the best and the worst, are actually a good start.